The ocean was quiet. Not still, not lifeless, just quiet. A drifting blur moved through the water like breath through mist, no muscles flinching, no effort, just soft pulses. It was small, barely the size of a fingernail, yet it held the weight of something unnatural, something unaging. A diver caught it on film by accident. They were recording reef life near the Mediterranean when their camera caught it, a translucent body folding into itself, then collapsing completely, like a flower closing at night. But instead of dying, it began again. Regrew, reformed, not healing, reverting. Cell by cell, like a film playing in reverse. It didn't take hours, it took days. But when it was done, the creature that had just moments ago been fully adult was now a child, identical to the form it had once emerged from. And then, as if nothing had happened, it pulsed away into the deep. Nobody could explain it. It wasn't dying. It wasn't giving birth. It wasn't splitting in two. It was resetting, like time itself didn't apply. Most marine biologists dismissed it, an aberration, a fluke. But a few knew better, because this wasn't the first time this had happened, and this creature wasn't like the others. For most of evolutionary history, one truth has remained constant. Everything ages. Every living thing, microbe to mammal, obeys the cellular clock. DNA degrades. Telomeres shorten. Cells grow sluggish or rebellious. The body eventually breaks down, and entropy wins. That's the price of being alive. In jellyfish, this pattern is especially pronounced. Most live short, delicate lives. They are born as planulae, tiny, drifting larvae, settle onto a surface, grow into polyps, and then metamorphose into their adult, free-swimming Medusa form. Once that transformation happens, the clock starts ticking faster. In days or weeks, many die, eaten, beached, decayed. But not this one. Hidden in warm, stable waters, mostly unnoticed by science until the 1990s, a species named Turritopsis dohrnii surfaced with a secret. Unlike its cousins, it didn't treat adulthood as final. When stressed, by injury, starvation, or age, it did something else. It unraveled. Its cells dedifferentiated, shedding their specialized roles. The stinging cells, the digestive structures, the reproductive tissue, all returned to a state more primitive, more flexible. Then, using the scaffold of its former self, it rebuilt from the beginning. Imagine a butterfly dissolving back into a caterpillar. That's what this jellyfish does. Not once, repeatedly. No known animal has done the same. The discovery sent ripples through biology. Not because it promised immortality, that's a word heavy with misunderstanding, but because it defied the assumption that development is a one-way road. In every other known animal, once a cell takes on a role, it's locked in. A nerve cell doesn't become a skin cell. A liver cell doesn't become a stem cell again. But Turritopsis ignored that rule. Its cells reversed course, not damaged, not repaired, but rewound. Even stranger, it didn't require outside intervention, no enzymes injected, no lab manipulation. This was hard-coded into its biology. Why? That's the mystery. Some believe it's a survival mechanism, a last resort escape hatch. In moments of extreme stress, when survival as an adult is impossible, collapsing into a childlike state may offer a second chance. New location, new body, fresh slate. But others suspect something deeper. The theories began to multiply. One hypothesis focuses on cellular plasticity. In essence, the jellyfish retains a set of pluripotent cells. Cells that, like human embryonic stem cells, can become any tissue. Most animals lose this ability after development, but Turritopsis seems to keep the keys. A second theory explores epigenetic regulation. In this view, the jellyfish doesn't change its DNA, but rather flips the switches controlling which genes are turned on or off. By manipulating these on a systemic level, it might be able to reprogram itself entirely. But perhaps the most haunting idea is that Turritopsis exists in a constant loop, that aging for it is a side quest, not a destination. When threatened, it steps off the path. When conditions improve, it re-enters the cycle, not reborn, not reincarnated, just a continuous. There's no evidence yet that the process can go on forever. In theory, environmental threats, disease, or mutations will eventually end it. But in laboratory settings, under controlled conditions, individuals have repeated the cycle multiple times, some over a dozen. No aging markers, no telomere shortening, no senescence. Just restart. But here's the unsettling part. If an animal can revert to its earliest state, what is identity made of? Is the jellyfish that emerges after reversal the same as before? Or is each cycle a quiet death followed by a near-perfect copy? Does it remember? Does it feel anything as it dissolves into the past? We'll likely never know. The creature offers no clues, no behaviors that suggest memory, no signs of awareness. It floats through the sea like a ghost that refuses to vanish. But its biology whispers a possibility that science isn't ready to answer. What if aging isn't a law, but a strategy? One most animals follow, but not because they must, because they can't imagine another way. And what if this jellyfish already has?